Everybody, welcome here today. Absolutely delighted with me to have Jason Lee of Propertymark here today. How are you, sir? You okay?
I'm very well, Simon. How are you?
I'm all right, but look, I'm assuming you're in some lovely air-conditioned office, because otherwise this is where us prop tech people get it right at the moment with the heat. But never mind, you are still looking far better turned out than me, but we knew that.
Well, try and make an effort every so often.
If I tried to put on a tie these days, we'd lose any audience we had anyway. Jason, I'm absolutely really excited to catch up with you. We're here talking about obviously the big event. I think it's fair to say is not only is it the curtain raiser, it has the potential to make a claim for being the biggest and the best of the year, isn't it? You've got Propertymark One, the big combined event now happening on the 27th of June, is that right? All day event?
It is, yeah, 27th of June at Wembley.
Wembley, no less. So for anybody, obviously, of sporting prowess or have seen concerts and anything else there, they will be. You've not shirked on the location then, anyway.
No, I mean, it's obviously we're very excited and really looking forward to the event, and we looked at various things with regards to what we could do to help the members and do what we do really. Throughout the year, we've been doing lots and lots of sort of like regional conferences all over the country, from Southampton, Belfast, going up to Edinburgh. And we combined them all. So we didn't have separate sales, lettings, auctioneer ones. So all the members came along and non-members, and they've worked really well. So we kind of got the idea of bringing it all together as one, and then looked at channeling it into a different venue, which is away from the norm. Yeah. And I think we can all agree that Wembley is certainly a different venue. I won't say the words which came into my mind when I stood there in the middle of the hall and looked round thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to fill this soon. But yeah,
but here's the thing, Jason. You have, haven't you? I mean, famously, I've had suppliers literally on the phone to me saying, talking to me like I'm Huggy Bear. Whaley, is there any way you can get me into this event there? I mean, for some time now, this event, which is, as I said, is going to be, I can't think of anything bigger at the moment. 1,500 people, is that right? We were saying off there.
Yeah.
That's a massive event, isn't it? I mean. Yeah, that's and that I like the ability. Obviously, look, fantastic. You've got the different membership, ALA, National Association, but to bring that all together enables you to do stuff that you wouldn't, or indeed anyone would be able to do otherwise, would you?
Yeah. I mean, it's different, and obviously it's away from the norm that we've done before. But ultimately, you've got to move with the times. You've got to find out what people want. And yes, the suppliers have been fantastic as well. We've got some absolute brilliant people coming on board as well. We've also got a huge headline sponsor, which has come on for us for this event, and ultimately is going to support us throughout the rest of the conferences as well, which I'm very excited about, which will be announced in the next couple of days as well.
Oh, you tease. You better be coming back and telling us who that is anyway there. That's great. All right.
I will.
Oh, that's very kind of you. And it needs shouting, doesn't it? And one thing that's always annoyed me a little bit, and maybe that's because I obviously sit in this slightly ivory tower, is that actually the suppliers that are, that genuinely are part of this industry, they do pay lots of money to do these things. They are genuinely, they help make these big events, don't they, as well? So for you to have got so much backing by so many of the best suppliers and partners out there, it really shows again, doesn't it, what I think, how close you are to your members as well.
Absolutely. And we always try and listen to the members and find out who they want and who they want on board. We've got the industry suppliers, and we're really proud of the people that we work with, because we want to provide the best information for our agents, our members, but ultimately then it's the consumer as well, because they're getting the best service. So we're really excited about it, and hopefully it does all come together as well.
Yeah, well, otherwise, whoever's come up with that name is in the hot seat. But it's going to be a huge success. We know that already. For people watching, me and Jason are going to talk through some of the things that are happening on the day on the program, and it really does. It's worth staying on. But even if that wasn't reason enough, stay to the end because we've got an extra special Kerfuffle special for anyone there who's thinking about going on the day. I think that's the most important thing, actually, Jason, is just to highlight. Is actually you've sold out of all the previous tranches of tickets and things like that. You've got another final tranche that you've been allowed to put out there because obviously there's very tight health and safety there. But once they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It will be. If you don't buy one, you will miss out, unfortunately. So we're really pleased with the way it's gone. There's huge people that have already booked on, and as soon as we released the tickets, it was within 5 minutes the first 3 people booked in. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it will work then.
Well, let's kick off the day. We imagine we're there at this magnificent, in fact, the best venue you can really probably get in the UK at the moment. I believe Jenny Falconer, who's fantastic, is going to be the host for the day. Is that right?
Yeah, she's coming along. She's hot-footing straight away from her radio show, and then she's going to start. She's going to kick it off about 9:15, 9:30. Traffic providing. If not, some people may have to put up with me just opening up. Then we're going straight into the CEO, Mr. Emerson, who's going to say a few words. Yes, we can't have a show without Mr. Emerson. And then really, it's sort of like a really good split across the day of bringing different sectors and disciplines throughout it. And we're trying to bring a little bit of, education, a bit of fun, and ultimately it's a long day sat in those seats. So you've got to enjoy it as well, really.
Let's go straight. Let's go straight for the fun. First of all, you've got absolutely incredible. If we go down here, you've got I want to come back. You've got Dame Kelly Holmes, who's just everyone is going to love, respect, anything else there. And I think she's pretty much finishing off the day, isn't she, in terms of the main bit? And that obviously, whenever you hear her story in terms of everything she's achieved, is sensational. The one that jumps out at me, though, as you saw how exciting before, is Gerald Ratner, the famous, obviously, Gerald Ratner. He's totally reinvented himself, hasn't he, since that brilliant, fateful day, obviously, of Ratner Jewelry, as we all imagine it. I have been lucky enough, not seen him live, which is so desperately pleased to be able to see him, but I've seen some of the stuff he does. His self-deprecation about, how you can build this career up, can't you? And then with the one sentence unravel it all is going to be an absolutely. I don't think that there's not going to be a seat free in that room, are they? When he's talking.
No, and he's such a charismatic chap as well. He really, really is. And he's reached the heights, and then as you just alluded to, many of us in our careers want to get to that high, and you're on that crest of a wave, and you feel as though you're untouchable with regards to your own business and what you're doing. But one little slip, and then those walls can come tumbling down. But again, it's how you react to that and the way he's built himself, and almost giving himself another profile as well. And gone, do you know what? I could go out there and talk about what I did wrong to help other people.
Brilliant, yeah. And no doubt I will, if I haven't made those mistakes already. I think the problem is I've got to attain the heights before I can make a mistake. That's where I've been going wrong. I've done all the mistake bit, I just haven't done the height bit. But anyway, well, that's fantastic. I can't wait for that. That's genuinely going to be good. You've got also as well, obviously, remember when you couldn't have a conversation with an estate agent, let's say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, without a certain online agent being mentioned. Artificial intelligence is that one at the moment, isn't it? Whether it's ChatGPT or anything else there, and you're dealing with that in its own section at the conference as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're lucky enough to get Dave Garland, who's pretty much of a whiz at anything AI and anything along those lines, and he's coming over from Silicon Valley to have a really good chat with us. And it's really, really interesting because, as you can imagine, it's so difficult to build these events and get all the content and all the slides and everybody's presentations and everything like that for the main slide deck which goes through. And this is the one which worries me slightly because he's so on the ball with it all. And he said, I want my slides about a week before the thing. He's like, no, I can't do it because it changes so much each day. And so it will be fresh off the cuff, up to date things. And there could be a couple of real surprises of what he actually uses during his speech as well. So definitely don't hang around with your lunch. Get into that.
I was going to say you were teased there. I do love this because obviously everyone always thinks it's just dead easy and you put it on, and then you've got to figure out who works well following each person. There's a whole science to it, and the thing I love is everyone always jokes about, I've got that tough and difficult after lunch spot. So you've gone for this fella because everyone's going to obviously, because it's at the top of everyone's minds. They know if they don't get ahead of this wave, they're going to get caught underneath it or behind it. So to have people like him, who, as I said, where the stuff is changing so quickly, give us pointers is going to be I would suggest, worth the attendance alone.
Absolutely. I mean, we're starting to see it in all sectors. As you know, it's creeping into various CRMs now where you can write your own, then click a button and it changes. It does all of that way. So, it's really good to find out the cutting edge stuff, what's going on, not to be maybe so afraid of it and maybe embrace it, but also to watch out for things as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt at all. It can have good effects, bad effects. I mean, we could go into, I'll bore you on the day, but genuinely, I was going through it again. It was over 20 companies I've spoken to, suppliers, many of those going, who have already or are now integrating their AI. So this isn't one of those ones where it's like jetpacks and it never arrives, is it? This is totally.
It's happening. Yeah, it's happening now.
So let's go back here. I'm looking here as well. We've got the this is a really good one. So this is where it really kind of kicks off straight away. There's the lettings insight panel. Just talk us through that, because you've ensured that this one cannot be vanilla, really, haven't you?
No. I mean, we've been quite good with response to. We requested the big names out there. We wanted some heavy hitters, and ultimately, both in the sales and the lettings one, we've got some really, really big names that are going to come along and talk. And so
Dane Kelly, you've got, obviously, as we know, 90 and everything else, but we've got our very own Kate Faulkner OBE in there, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That shows that we can do it ourselves, can't we? Paul Champlino, I've got here, Sally Lawson, Ben Stokes, David Botter, Fran Johnson from Foxtons, David Cox. I mean, you're not missing any niches there, are you, in terms of specialist knowledge?
No, I mean, everybody's got that knowledge, and ultimately we've got Russell Court, which is going to chair it as well. So
I missed out on that. Sorry, obviously I'm still a bit guilty because he won me at that auction the other day for a day. Yeah. So how are you going to do this differently? Because obviously a lot of people will see panels and that with Russell doing it. It's just not going to be boring. How are you going to position this for people?
Well, we've all been to various conferences and meetings, etc., where they have panel debates, and sometimes it can feel as though they're very much loaded questions, that it's been preambled, that it's been put there. These are the questions that you asked. These are the answers. We're not going for that. We've got the industry's leading lights here, so they know about the market. They should be able to talk about the market. Russell will guide them through, and we just want it to go free flow and find out exactly what the biggest concerns, what to do, what to look out for, and go that way. You mentioned the chap Ben Stokes. He was a member that actually won that seat. We put it out to members, both in ALA and NAEA, if they wanted to join these panels. So we've got people from all different likes, industries, etc., going to go on there and talk about it. But also we built a specialist app as well for the event, and so the audience can actually ask Russell live questions when he's on stage, and he will point them at the panel of what they will answer.
to obviously just show the whole elements of the one nature later on, just before that lunch break, you've got the sales insight panel again, Russell hosting it, Miles Shipside, obviously everyone knows Right Move Verona from Yopa, Mike Day, so Dr. John Boyle of Retty and Co, Steve McCarran, obviously president of Propertymark, Claire Yates, David Sandeman, and Ryan Power. Again, it's another hot, heavy hitting crew, isn't it?
It is. And again, it's across discipline. It's not just sales. There's auctions in there. There's inventories. We're trying to cover everything for everybody that wants to speak. So like I said, it is going to be very much a free-for-all. If you want a question answering, ask it. Ask it on the app. This is your opportunity.
I've always got a bit of a theory that my name gets blacklisted early, but I'll see. I'm going to put some time and energy into coming up with something sensible rather than fashion tips. I'll be honest, there's one speaker on the day I'm really worried about.
Yeah. And you're not speaking.
No, that's the least of my worries. No, it's the 12 o'clock keynote speaker, Sabina Brennan. Now, she's a chartered psychologist, neuroscientist, and award-winning science communicator.
Yes.
It's a bit like that Basil Fawlty one where is she going to be telling me things about myself I don't want to know?
Not quite. I mean, her credentials are fabulous. They really, really are. And when you look at it like that, you may think, oh, hang on a minute, that sounds a little bit really highbrow. But what she genuinely focuses on is the mind and the brain and how it reacts to everything. Yeah. And ultimately, we always look at well-being and what we should do to preserve this, that, the other. But the most important thing to look after is that brain, and ultimately how different techniques could work in order so you don't get that brain freeze, you don't get that that stumbling and stuttering for words and those types of things. And she has various processes that she'll talk you through in order to help you get through your day, work day, evening, work, rest and play, the whole thing. She is a fantastic lady, lovely to speak to, and I really think people will get so much from that one as well.
Sounds really good. I mean, just looking at the obviously the bio on it again, yeah, so the talks will show you how to think faster, sharper, better. You know, author of those two books, 100 Days to a Younger Brain, of course, yeah. We all want that. And this one in particular, beating brain fog, as you were just alluding to there. Yeah. Every one of us just has those days, don't we, where you just can't seem to kind of get out of it. If she can help any of us out on that, that's going to be again.
Yeah, and that's usually where the frustration comes from, where you get your other anxieties from, because you just get that fog. You think, well, I know it. Why can't I just get it? And so the various techniques that she'll talk us through.
Right. Okay. And after, we've got Gerald Ratner, obviously, as we mentioned in the afternoon session. And then, of course, a conference wouldn't be a conference without Mr. Watkins. Christopher Watkins has got his own panel, hasn't he, as well, where Alex Jeffrey of Bright Solicitors, we've got Jeff O'Boyle, Rory Cowan, Tessa Shepperson as well to look at those kind of things. What's the angle of that one in particular there, Jason?
Right. This one was probably one of the harder ones to come up with, because ultimately we need to talk about policy. We need to talk about legislation, things that happen, those types of things. And what I noticed from a lot of conferences and talks, when various lawyers speak, delegates love to hear case studies of genuine things which have happened. So I came up with a little idea of, you must have seen the Monty Pythons.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You would have seen the sketch where it has the Yorkshireman saying, we were so
yeah.
All we had to eat was coal.
Yeah.
We had it all. So I've challenged 4 of the greatest legal minds in the country to turn their inner comedians in a very, very intellectual, informational way to do that. So they are genuinely going to come up with 2 case studies each.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Genuine case studies, which has happened. Yeah. And they are going to try and outdo each other with things which feel and sound quite unbelievable. They are genuinely happy.
You've given me my new favourite part of the day. I didn't. That was if you hadn't explained that, I think that's the risk of it, isn't it? Actually,
absolutely.
Understanding those stories again and being able to go through that—that's quite a really. I'm going to wish I'd stolen that idea myself now, but well done. That's really, really good, though, isn't it? And it helps. The thing is about those stories as well; it helps bring stuff to life far better, doesn't it? Often.
Yeah, it is, because it's genuinely happened, and the case studies really do give that information as to what's going on, what's happening, and the four that are going to do it have experience from all the sectors as well: England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, even Jersey and the Channel Islands as well. So we do have some very, very good things lined up for that one.
Nice. And then, as we said, Dame Kelly just doesn't need any explanation there. You'd be mad to miss that. But then, our very own royalty, Mr. Emerson, as well. From opening, he talks about the road ahead. I like the idea of giving a frame of reference there about the whole event and what's going to be going forwards. Because we always talk about this, Jason, whether I'm talking to Nathan or your good self, isn't it? Often stuff gets missed, doesn't it? And unless you're lucky enough to be be on top of this and doing it, you can sometimes, you can just miss just how much is being done by the organisation to help everybody in the property industry. That's a key element, isn't it? It's not just working just for your own members.
It is, yeah. I mean, ultimately, we try and evolve, we try and change, we try and assist totally. Whether it's lobbying in the government and changing things, we try and have that voice for everybody. Going back to lockdown, where we assisted in obviously getting the money for offices paid back, etc. So we do try and change things. We do try and work with it. But more importantly, we need to hear from people what they want.
Yeah.
We do listen, and we do try and change things and evolve what they want, because it's pointless ploughing ahead and having your own vision and your own tunnel if nobody's going to get into that whatsoever. There has to be ways into it and how you can change and deliver what's right for the members, the industry, and ultimately going forward.
Excellent. Well, so Nathan seals the deal on the day. That's the learning and development done. Talk to me about this after party. Talk to me about. I'm reading here in response to overwhelming demand. That's me writing 3,000 times. Can we have something? We're delighted to announce PM the after party. Join us for a summer celebration, an evening for our delegates to relax, unwind, network, and reflect on the day. But then there's more. We're offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for somebody to perform on stage in front of the Wembley audience.
Yes.
And what you can say, talk to me.
Well, yes, we were questioned whether we were going to do something afterwards. And then it was a case of, right, we have Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
We have the Wembley stage. And I've specifically moved the stage in the whole arena right to the other end. So that iconic sign that says Hello Wembley is what you will be facing. So lots and lots of events and things do charity auctions. So they'll ask for things to come in and we'll auction it on the day. I came up with a crazy idea of charity karaoke.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So basically, we are offering people the chance to sing, juggle, spin plates, do a little tap dance, do whatever they want to do on that iconic stage if their bid is high enough. And the bids, we are raising money for the Propertymark Trust and agents giving. And so all the money that is raised from that will go to that. And we have had some fantastic bids in already.
I happen to know a few of these shameless show-offs that will be going for that as well. First of all, that is such a brilliant idea around the day as well. Thank you for for that great work you do for charity and for agents giving. The Arbon Trust is amazing in its own right and everything you're trying to do. And we want to hear more about it on the day. And I think actually a percentage of each ticket, it's not just about those things there. A percentage of each ticket goes towards the charities as well, doesn't it? So
that's correct. Yeah. And again, we just want to try and put a little bit back. We want to have some fun. We want to have, there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of networking. There's a lot of buying, selling, which is going to go on in the daytime. So there's some serious things about that. But the evening is just go and have some fun, enjoy yourself, let your hair down if you have some left, and then just enjoy yourself. We've got a couple of bands coming on as well. Yeah. We had a really, really fantastic band that did the President's Dinner last year. We've invited them back because people wanted to hear them. Yeah. And then we've brought somebody in specially for you, Simon. We have brought in a Spice Girls tribute act for you. So, who dares say that Propertymark is highbrow now?
I can be property's version of H from Steps. And look, just before we do go into the next most important bit as well, just so everyone can relax here, Jason instantly ruled me out by saying anyone who could sing. So there's no chance of me. I believe security had probably been educated anyway to look out.
Absolutely.
I like the idea. I can see it here. Entertainment lively, big tick in the box. Dining, street food, all over that. And then the dress code is informal, and I will hold you to that when I turn up. Brilliant. Look, this is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really good. You've been really, really good, and we've been really, really keen to back this event. I think it's absolutely vital that, I just love the idea that this is the curtain raiser as well, isn't it? It's like, who else to set the scene here than Propertymark, the industry's own, own body there. You're absolutely keen for existing, obviously, members to turn along, but you want this to be genuinely a family for all, don't we? So obviously, what we've managed to do, I think, is working with you. We're going to subsidise those non-members prices to bring it down to the price of the members, isn't it? So, and by the way, it's worth saying, isn't it, Jason? Am I right in thinking before even the discount, it's £200 for non-members, and it's 180 quid for that whole day session. That's incredible.
Those speakers.
I mean, I'm not expecting you to say it's expensive, but that really does mean that you don't have to take too many takeaways from that, do you, to justify that as a day out of your diary?
No, and ultimately you get your 7 hours of CPD from it as well, which obviously we have to do as members. But no, I mean, we're really, really trying to encourage non-members to come along as well, because the content and ultimately everybody that's going to be there is for everybody. It's for the industry. I really think there's going to be so many takeaways for people to get that way, and we're really, really pleased and excited that you've agreed to subsidise them to bring some more members in, non-members in as well, to the event, because I really think it is going to be a good day. Obviously, I am slightly biased because I feel as though I've lived Propertymark One for the past 6 months. But it's coming together. The team here at Arbon House have been absolutely amazing as well. So we will pull it off, and ultimately it will be the biggest thing that we've ever done before. And hopefully, he says with fingers crossed that the delegates, the people that come along to it, enjoy it, get the things out of it. But if they haven't enjoyed it, I want to hear why. Because then we can look at changing those types of things, because it's their event, your event. We just supply it.
It's not going to be an issue. I'm calling it now. It's going to be a great day and an even better evening there. We're going to send out, I think we've got a special code, haven't we, that we're going to send out to people. So if we haven't put this out when we play this live, just drop me a line back, simon@kerfuffle.com, or go direct to Jason. But Jason, I want to say thank you very much. We're obviously we'll keep updated. I want to find out about the chief sponsor and all that sort of information now. But
just one last thing one last thing. You missed out a speaker as well.
Go on.
Yeah, we will be having a government speaker as well.
I just saw it was government speaker. I assume that, like AA, it changes so often at the moment.
It does, but we're in constant dialogue at the moment in time, so we are confident that it will be a good name, should we say. So again, let's look out for that.
And that's really important, isn't it? Because that vital job you do in terms of fighting for the industry's rights and obviously putting these cases, for them to come out and actually listen and explain as well, is really important. Good. Well, look, obviously we'll keep people updated on that in detail. All I will say, Jason, is, and this is my promise to you, I will guarantee, as the curtain raiser goes down, I'll have a drink with you and you can relax.
Brilliant. It may be a couple of hours afterwards, but I will do, and I'll be ready for it.
Magic, mate. Thank you very much.
Good to see you as always, pal.
27th of June, be there. Tickets are coming out imminently. We'll send out all the details, and don't forget to miss out on that Kerfuffle deal as well, because it's exclusive. Thank you very much, Jason.
No worries, mate. Catch you soon. Cheers. Bye.